This is Adam Kokesh here with Dr. Rand Paul at his clinic in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And we're talking about how our movement is going to be able to get behind candidates in 2010 that are going to work to retake Congress. And, you know, I was just on Capitol Hill visiting your father.
I saw the clips of that.
Excellent.
The World Wide Web, spreading the word very quickly.
Yeah, thank God for Al Gore inventing those interwebs for us.
You know, my wife claims that she invented it before Al Gore invented it. So there's still some dispute on the internet. So.
Well, Al Gore's got a better propaganda machine. I think he's going to end up winning that.
So far, he's got more credit than my wife has. So.
Well, talking to Ron Paul on Capitol Hill, he said, you know, he could use some help up there. And I told him not to worry because there's a lot of people that were inspired by his movement to seek office in 2010. I told him help is on the way. And so I know you're one of those potential candidates who's looking at taking Senator Jim Bunning's seat here representing Kentucky.
Yeah, I think definitely help is on the way. And whether we win or not lose this time around, help is definitely on the way, and we're transforming things. I tell people as I go around and give speeches that basically political parties are an empty vessel and we must imbue them with something. A political party has to believe in something, and that's really the problem with the Republican Party is that not necessarily that our platform is bad or that we don't believe in anything, but we need to express and we need to adhere to our platform better. And that's what I'm about. We have to broadcast the message. We don't change the message. We need to broadcast our message and give it to people in a way that it's acceptable and that we will draw more people to our movement. And I think that's possible. You know, I tell people in Kentucky there are two ways that you can win an office as a Republican. It's sort of an evenly split state. You can either give up your beliefs and simply run as a Democrat. You win the Republican nomination, then you become a moderate or a Democrat after the primary. Or you can run with your true beliefs, but express them in a way that we attract new people to the party.
Well, there's definitely a lot of people in the Republican Party that you could say are at least our kind of conservatives, that share a lot of the principles, that are there and they're involved and engaged for the right reasons. Right. On the flip side, though, there's a lot of our kind of liberals, too, you know, who we can appreciate, at least share some of the principles and are there for the right reasons. And I think it's about bringing people back to any kind of principles. Now, as the current party structure exists, we obviously have a lot more in common on the issues with Republicans, and I think it's great that we have this opportunity to work within that framework. And as we talked about at Rally for the Republic, calling the GOP back to its roots.
Right. And I think there is a big coalition out there. I like to call it the Leave Me Alone coalition. You know, there are a lot of people who want to be left alone, from homeschoolers to people who own guns. And what we need to convince some people in the Republican Party that they've forgotten is that, and I told them this at a gun rally recently. I went to a machine gun rally up in the central part of our state, and I said, if you believe in the Second Amendment, you have to believe in the Fourth Amendment. Because if you don't believe in the Fourth Amendment, they're going to come to your house with no warrant, and they're going to find that you've altered your gun in some way that they don't like, and your gun's going to be gone, and you're going to be in jail on a firearms conviction for 10 years. All because you didn't stand up to people who told you, oh, it's not important that a judge have a warrant before they come in your house. Napolitano is really good on this, and the loss and the diminution of the Fourth Amendment. And so there's room for all of this, and I think I have nothing but, as we say in Kentucky, unbridled enthusiasm for the project. I really think there is a lot to be hopeful for.
Well, my favorite, of course, are the 9th and 10th. You know, all rights that aren't covered, you got those too. Right. And that Leave Me Alone coalition, it's not a coalition yet, and that's the problem. Right. They've been so pushed out and disenfranchised, but if we can make the Republican Party a vehicle for principle that reaches out to those people, we can bring them in, we can get them re-engaged in politics, and we can make the Republican Party stand for something, and we can make Republicans winners again.
But it's kind of what my father talked about. He said that freedom or liberty has been split apart. And that's kind of true, that we had people who believed in economic liberty and people who believed in personal freedom, but they didn't realize that they go together.
It's all human liberty.
Yeah, so bringing the coalition together is convincing people that it's all one and the same, economic liberty and personal liberty. And it is a way you build coalitions. It's the way the Republican Party will get bigger and begin winning elections again, is by understanding that coalition of economic freedom and personal liberty.
Well, you've got a really incredible opportunity here in Kentucky to take a Senate seat. For our movement, to bring principle back at that highest level where the corruption is so thick is really incredible. And I think there's a lot of people who are watching this really closely, who are really excited about supporting you. And, you know, a lot of my supporters are really excited about your race because as great as it would be to have another dozen Ron Pauls in the Congress to be able to be a really critical coalition and swing vote, the power that you would have as a senator to be able to block government action and stop things that the federal government is doing to impinge on our liberties would be so huge for our movement. And I just got to say, I wish you the best of luck, and I hope that we can keep working together as a movement to retake Congress.
Thank you, and I compliment you on your run, and even my staff will say, you need to be a little bit more fired up like that Adam Kokesh. So we'll try to bring a little bit of that fire of Adam Kokesh to Kentucky. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks a lot.